over the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. From the prophet Jeremiah. Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show. We talk, we play you music, and encourage you to create. This season, we invite you to join us as we create around a central theme each episode. We encourage you to find the path by making.
Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show, everybody. I'm Benjamin, and this is Heidi. This is episode 3 of season 4.
We're beanie buddies today.
Beanie buddies.
That time of year. Thanks to all of our patrons. You help us make the show. You're helping us get our full album out.
Yeah, which our single is so close to being
So
ready for
close.
mastering. It's on the precipice, and we're planning to get it to you by the end of the year.
Patrons will get it first.
Yes, of course.
We'll give you to it a little bit early.
So if you want to get our single early, sign up to become a patron. You can do the free membership, or you can pick whatever dollar amount you may choose. Just as an incentive, dollar amounts get you stuff. So, one.
Mediocre stuff.
Yeah, I didn't. Stuff.
Stuff.
Just stuff.
Stuff.
Just stuff. So we're really grateful for just watching and just the gift of being able to do this. We love being able to create. We love being able to create imperfectly in front of you, because our hope is that encourages you to create without the fear of needing to be perfect. So the theme of our show is finding the path by making. So the question that I'm asking kind of each episode is what our creativity is teaching us. So over this month, what's your creativity been teaching you?
Probably the same thing that it always does, that I don't have enough time to do all the things that I want to do. It's so frustrating. There's so many ideas, and having to just pick one or two things is really, really difficult. It's painful to not have enough time. But so focusing is really hard for me. But yeah. I'm working on it.
You're working on it?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I've been bumping up against limits over the past few months, but I think the big thing, because in mixing our single, I've had to listen to my voice a lot, and I'm self-conscious about my singing voice. True confession here. And so one of the things I've been learning as I've had to track, retrack, do and redo is that if I'm afraid of doing it wrong, I'm never going to do it right.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So that's a big thing that's been teaching me. And the other thing that I've been learning is that feedback from others is not a threat, but a gift. I've gotten some really good feedback, because when you're mixing this single, I'm sending it to our bandmates. I let one of my friends listen to it, and people that love me and aren't just out to say something mean, obviously, but their feedback has been a gift, because as I've taken their feedback and applied it, it's like, oh my gosh,
it's gotten better.
This sounds so much better than I imagined it being. So that's been,
So if you don't like it, it's all the other people's fault.
Yeah. I can give names if you want.
No, it's going to be, it's sounding really good.
Yeah.
We think you'll enjoy it.
Right. So for this month, we picked the prompt of the word belonging to be what our creativity in this show is about. So here we go. What does belonging feel like?
Oh, belonging feels so peaceful. It just feels like all the cells in my body just relax, and that tension that we don't realize we're holding in can just kind of fall away.
The feeling is not so much like a feeling of like, oh, I'm belonging right now, but there's a glorious absence of being self-conscious.
Yeah.
I think that's how I experience it, at least. What's the difference between belonging and fitting in?
When I feel like I'm trying to fit in, it seems like there's this mold and this preconceived version of a person that I'm trying to be. I'm trying to assimilate and be like everyone else. So definitely that, there's definitely that cookie cutter punch out type of image. But when I think of belonging reminds me more of a jigsaw puzzle. That every piece is shaped a little bit differently. There's round edges and sharp edges. So there's no perfect piece, but when they all come together and each piece, each person, if you will, shares who they are, together they belong in this one beautiful image together. And that to me feels what belonging has been in my life.
When I'm trying to fit in, I think the assimilation thing is really true, but I feel more like a chameleon if I find myself feeling like an actor in my life where I'm taking on different roles depending on the relationship that I'm in, playing different parts, different personas. And it's not dramatic, but I can tell with this person's like, oh, I'm playing to what I think this person perceives me as. And that's where I see fitting in kind of taking place. Belonging is very different than that. Rather than trying to fit a mold, I actually am fully myself in the midst of a person who is also fully being themselves.
And I think that what's interesting about belonging, over time, you can change and grow.
Sure.
So it doesn't mean that you're going to be exactly the same for the rest of your life. I think belonging actually helps you grow because when you're accepted right where you're at, you don't go into this defensive mode or this hiding mode. You're actually able to look at where am I at now and maybe where do I want to go, or I'm maybe encouraged or supported. So belonging actually fosters growth and change rather than freezing and stagnant stubbornness.
One of the things my mom always used to tell me when I was younger and really self-conscious was to focus on other people. That was a way of overcoming that sense of being self-conscious and not belonging or fitting in. So what are some practical ways that we help other people belong?
Asking questions is so essential, and from a place of curiosity. Oh, tell me about what you did today. Tell me about that thing you created. Just showing genuine interest and wonder in another person. And I think that the more and more I do that, the more and more I learn and I see connections even when we're different than each other. So really taking an interest in another person's skill or creativity or uniqueness.
Where it plays out for me is if we have a new person in a group of friends that we know, that we've known for a really long time. We have the inside jokes, we have the normal banter. One of the things that I really try to do is make sure I create bridges for that newer person to be in the conversation.
I love creating environments for other people to showcase
who they are or what they like to create, whether it's having an art event or a group where people are invited to ask opinions, like a book club or something like that. Creating intentional gatherings where other people's voice are able to be heard is so meaningful, and I really love doing that.
I think one of the quickest ways to help somebody belong is to have that kind of atmosphere, like an open mic or an art display where people share what they've made, and rather than being critiqued or evaluated, they're accepted and affirmed.
For this month, I wanted to show you a couple pointillism pieces that I'm finishing up. And pointillism is the creation of an image with a zillion million different dots, and Seurat is probably the most famous pointillism artist. You can look up his photos. The reason that I think pointillism is so cool is because it's made up of varying shades of a similar color, but all the different shades are what make things pop. It gives them that pixelated type of image that is so unique to pointillism. And the other reason, as we were talking about belonging, oops, I'm kicking the fireplace here. The other reason that I wanted to show these pieces is because my friend Tracy gave me the idea, and I think as artists we can often want to do it all ourselves and not collaborate, but we really need each other. And Tracy suggested a sunset, and so I thought, hey, I'll do a sunrise sunset pair, and Tracy's one of those people that makes me feel like I can belong and be myself. So just really hope that you will give pointillism a try if you never have. It's really fun, and these are just a couple examples of art that reminds me that we're all part of the story of what's going on in the world, and we need each other.
One of the ways that I know I can hold back from people is when I have misunderstandings or judgments. That can happen with the way people look at us, what we think they're thinking. And so there's a story that comes to mind about how this happened in my life. It is really cool to be able to do music in retirement homes, and we do them in memory care facilities. And if you've never been in a memory care facility, it's a really meaningful time being with people who aren't who they used to be because of Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever the reason. And many of you know that music has a way of enlivening those folks. Well, we were at this one facility some time ago, and I want you to imagine someone looking at you like they want to murder you. If that's ever happened to you, where you see someone who is giving you the look of doom. There was a woman who, for quite a while as we were doing music in there, it felt like every time she would look in my direction, I thought, she hates me. And so after a little while, we were engaging with some of the staff, and come to find out, they were able to ask this woman to say something, and all of a sudden, the softest, most beautiful voice came out. And she had loved a song from The Sound of Music, and everything I thought about the situation was completely wrong. I had completely been misunderstanding what was going on, and this beautiful woman who her brain is not what it was, but there is still this beautiful person. And that really taught me that the way that I assess people's facial expressions is often so wrong. So I am so grateful to have learned that I'm not always right, and taking things slowly and not reacting is so important in learning how to belong to people and let them belong to you. So if you get a chance to go share music of some kind in a memory care facility, it will change you and do just as much to teach you than it would be to help anyone you would go see. So really grateful for being wrong.
Graceful in, graceful out, mercy and justice lean in for a kiss. Grace roll in, grace roll out, mercy and justice find their kiss. Ah, will they find their kiss? What if I had loved, a bit of love for myself? What if I sang songs without fear and songs without shame? Wonder would the mountains give a little shake if I took that breath and cut myself a break? Maybe peace in the world starts with peace in me. Maybe peace in the world starts with peace in me. Let grace roll in and let grace roll out, mercy and justice they're trying to kiss. Grace roll in and grace roll out, mercy and justice they're longing to kiss. Ooh, will they find their kiss? Will they find it here? What if I had known a bit of love for my enemy? of peace in me. Maybe peace in the world starts with peace in me. Grace roll in and grace roll out. Mercy and justice, they lean in for a kiss. Grace roll in and grace roll out. Mercy and justice, they longing to kiss. Oh, where they find it here. I think they'll find it here. Oh yeah. Oh look, oh look. There's this bleeding crack in the timber man. Will we ever understand that there's this bleeding crack in the timber man? Will we ever understand? Will we ever understand how this is gonna end?
Well, that's what we've made this month, and now it's your turn. We want to see what you're making. We have a journaling creativity worksheet. It's on Facebook and Patreon that you can download. So,
Yeah.
journaling, what's the difference to you between fitting in and belonging?
That's a really good question.
I think it is a great question.
I thought that was a very, very good question that you came up
it is a
with.
great question. So, journal through your perspective, and then you had a
Yeah.
companion question.
Because once you've answered that question, then you get to investigate your life.
Ew.
Some people love that, some people hate it. But you can look into the various social settings you find yourself and ask the question, where am I just fitting in and where do I feel like I truly belong?
And then you maybe want to take it a step further. What places, communities you're already in, how can you help people belong?
Yeah.
So this might be a great prompt as well for expressing gratitude to someone who has helped you belong, whether it's writing them a letter, making them a gift, but just communicating that, hey, thanks for seeing me for who I am and letting me be myself and helping me express who I am.
Yeah.
And you could also create something that represents your image of what belonging looks like. I know my jigsaw puzzle image is what's kind of come to my mind, but what would that be that you would want to express what it looks like? You could paint it, sculpt it,
Oh, please, if you sculpt it,
Play-Doh it.
take a picture and send it to us, please.
Play-Doh smell.
Play-Doh smell. Did you ever eat Play-Doh as a kid?
Did not eat
I didn't
Play-Doh,
either.
But
there was
smell-
something about it that awakened that hunger instinct. I don't know why. Maybe you ate Play-Doh as a kid and you can tell us what it actually tastes like. I don't know.
You know what? I think I probably have tasted it. Maybe I blocked that out. So maybe serve that up for one of your holiday gatherings.
yeah.
Here's a plate of Play-Doh for
Here's
you.
a plate of Play-Doh. Oh, wow. Well, next month's word is going to be holiday season, and it's also going to be winter. So the word, and you forgive me because I'm not sure which version of this word we decided on, so you can correct me, is hibernation or hibernate?
We'll let you know. I don't know yet. There's different versions of words. Hibernate. Hibernation.
I think hibernation needs to be the word.
Okay,
We've
it's
decided. We had a
hibernation.
meeting.
Thanks for witnessing our meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. So hibernation is going to be your prompt for December, and our show for December will be based on that. We will not make it, you will not fall asleep while you watch it. That's the goal. That's the only corny joke I'm going to make.
Good thing it's the end of the show.
That's right. All
Bye.
right. Happy creating. Bye.